Yo, what's up guys? You got PokeaimMD here with the Stakataka Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon Moveset video guide. Now before we get into this, if you guys missed any of my previous moveset videos, there is a playlist down below. I encourage you to check it out. I'll also be showcasing this Pokemon later today in a Showdown Live so you guys can see how it functions in the OU tier. Also feel free to follow me on Twitch and Twitter. Those links are down below. Twitch, I've been streaming a lot of Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon, been a lot of fun, and then Twitter's a great place to stay up to date with me. So, Rock and Steel, Stakataka, I absolutely love that name, by the way, almost as good as Nick Rosma. But Stakataka is Rock and Steel, which means that it is 4 times weak to fighting and ground, and then it has 2 times weakness to water. But it has so many resistances: Fairy, Dragon, Psychic, Ice, Rock, Bug, Flying, Normal, so many resistances. And I want to compare it to Bastiodon because like Bastiodon, it has really high defense at base 211, which is way more than Bastiodon. I believe Bastiodon's base 168, something around there. Less speed than Bastiodon at base 101, higher HP at base 61, and then less speed at base 13, which is really good because that means that its Gyro Ball, for the most part, is 150 base power. On top of that, unlike Bastiodon, it actually has a really solid base 131 attack stat. So this Pokemon hits incredibly hard. Its Gyro Ball, like I said, for the most part, is 150 base power. So the first that we have is the Choice Band Stakataka. Now, this takes advantage again of its incredible strong Gyro Ball, and it also has great Rock Stab in Stone Edge, and then even then it has decent coverage in Earthquake and Sewer Power. Now, this set, the EV spread, is actually just a little bit different than you would normally use on physical attackers like this. So, of course, max HP, you want to maximize that bulk. I mean, you could use this on Trick Room, but you could use it as its own Pokemon as well. Just to show you reference of how strong this Pokemon is, this is -1 Gyro Ball Choice Band to offensive Landorus. You do 92 to 108% to Lando. This is Gyro Ball to defensive Landorus. You do 56 to 66. This is at -1, so it's a solid 2-hit KO. And if you're actually not running the nature that I am, defensive Lando doesn't even always knock you out. And then this is Gyro Ball versus Zygarde. Why is this a KO? 96 to 113%. So this Pokemon hits incredibly hard. Now we are Lonely Nature, which is minus defense, which you might be thinking, well, isn't that worse for Stakataka? In some cases, yes, as you saw in the Earthquake calc. You're not always able to take Earthquake from defensive landers. But the reason we're in Lonely Nature with 15 defense IVs specifically is because we want to match our attack stat. So our attack stat and this and defense stat are both 397. So what this allows it to do is whenever we get a kill, we get a beast boost, and that's an attack as opposed to defense. Now typically you'll see that if you go Brave Nature for minus speed, you know, to power up that Gyro Ball or whatever, your defensive stat is way higher than your attack. So if you go Lonely Nature, and this has been proven to work, as in like this set is actually not terrible, even though you are minusing your defense. If you go Lonely Nature, 15 defense IVs, you both hit 397, and so whenever you pick up a kill with Stakataka, you end up getting an attack raise as opposed to the defense raise. So again, minimum speed because you want to maximize Gyro Ball's power. It's only a little bit faster than Brave Nature anyway. And Stone Edge is your main form of stab. Earthquake allows you to pick up the easy 2-hit KO on Toxapex. And then Sewer Power means that you are not like just bait for Ferrothorn. It hits incredibly hard. Being able to hit Ferrothorn also hits Skarmory on a Roost. I mean, same thing with Earthquake, but it hits incredibly hard, and this is just your main form. So Choice Band set number 2 is just going Brave Natured and not getting the attack boost. Basically, this is better if you're using this on Trick Room, I feel. You can still use this one on Trick Room as well. I mean, I've used both on Trick Room, but this one is really cool for opposing Stakataka who use the Lonely Nature, because when you're Brave Nature 0 speed IVs, you are faster on the Trick Room than the Lonely Nature Stakataka. So this just allows you to get a defense boost, but also outspeed opposing ones in Trick Room and pretty much be one of the slowest Pokemon in Trick Room and just hit incredibly hard. So the only difference between this is the nature you go and obviously your IVs. Both of them have their you know, their pros and cons. Like obviously this one, you get an attack raise, right? Which is amazing for this because your Gyro Ball just gets stronger and stronger. Whereas this one, you get the defense raise and you're faster than this one in Trick Room. So Now, offensive Trick Room is another thing that this Pokemon can do, because this Pokemon actually has access to Trick Room, and it reminds me a lot of Bronzong in 4th Gen, because what Bronzong used to do was it would set up Trick Room as an offensive sweeper. It would be called offensive Trick Room, which is why it's called OTR, and it would be able to go for Gyro Balls, have Earthquake, and then it would use the powerful Explosion in Gen 4, because Explosion used to be 250 base power, and then also lower your defense when it was being used, which is pretty busted. But now, that's not the case. Anyway, so offensive Trick Room runs Gyro Ball, Stone Edge, Earthquake, and then Trick Room. PokeaimMD can be used. You can run Lonely Nature on this as well. Like I said, if you want to get that attack boost, and I think if you are using this, Lonely Nature is pretty cool, because you're more of a sweeper than just a gigantic physical threat right here. You're more of a sweeper, so getting that attack raise is actually pretty cool, especially if Landorus tries to come in on you. To get off Intimidate. If it is offensive Landorus, it will be 2-hit KO'd anyway. You get your attack raise from there. And again, the Lonely Nature with the 15 IVs. PokeaimMD is the preferred item because it makes your Stone Edge constant to crush, and it hits incredibly hard, allowing you to pick off a weakened Celesteela or a weakened Skarmory. Again, this Pokemon wouldn't be able to break through. And then Earthquake, again, allows you to deal with Toxapex. Now, again, you can run Life Orb on this set as well, just to boost every single one of your attacks. So PokeaimMD can be used, or Life Orb. Life Orb is not a bad option at all. Again, Gyro Ball becomes incredibly powerful, and at the same time you're boosting Stone Edge without having to use a Z move and still boosting your Earthquake. Now, offensive Trick Room number 2 can actually run Fighting Superpower. Now this is pretty cool, because for the most part, and again, this is Lonely Nature, you get your attack. For the most part, Stone Edge can 2-hit KO Toxapex anyway after Rocks, especially because a lot of them run Spadef investment anyway. So PokeaimMD Superpower allows you to not be walled by Ferrothorn, and because Ferrothorn is picking up a lot in popularity, and always has been, a good Pokemon to know you, just because it can lay up spikes, it can go for knockoff versus Blacephalon coming in, it can leech seed and whatnot. I think PokeaimMD Superpower is definitely something worth using, because while you're not getting the strong constant of crush, you're getting all-out pummeling, and it just means your entire set isn't walled by Ferrothorn. So these are two options. The Earthquake, better for Toxapex. The Superpower, better for Ferrothorn, and also smacking Chansey. So these are just their two options for offensive Trick Room. Again, you can also run Life Orb if you want. If you are running Life Orb, again, you can rotate between Earthquake and Superpower. Basically, whatever has been working for you, use it. Right? This is the point of it. These are just movesets or general guidelines for what you can use. Try it on a team. If something else is working out, go for it. And this is max attack and max HP. You're going to maximize that bulk anyway. So defensive is also an option. Probably not its best option. I think that it is a lot better to use a Choice Band set or an offensive Trick Room set, but it does have access to Stealth Rock, so a defensive option can work. And being Rock and Steel, like I did mention, it has a ton of resistances. So you're going to actually be able to take Dracos from Maganadel. You are immune to Sludge Wave. You can take Flamethrower anyway. You can take hits from Latios. And that's just basically what this mon can do. So the set we have is Stealth Rock, Gyro Ball, Toxic to be able to wear down Landers coming in, because you're not hitting them as hard as you were with your Choice Band set or your offensive Trick Room set. So Toxic to wear them down. Maybe also wear down a Powdon. Pokemon like that coming in. And then Rock Blast over Stone Edge. It's just good for consistent damage, where a Stone Edge can miss. Stone Edge just misses, where Rock Blast can also break random subs as well. Maybe like from Sub Calm Mind, Blacephalon, for example. You break it with one hit and you do like 10 million with the other one. Now, it's max HP, 196 Spadef, 60 attack investment. I put 60 attack investment because while I was testing, I love the ability to just completely knock out Tapu Koko upon coming in, especially when they saw that I was leftovers. People would be they're less hesitant to bring in certain Pokemon on this thing. Like for an offensive variant, they would never bring in Tapu Koko, but with a 60 attack investment, with Stealth Rock up, you always KO Tapu Koko, so I thought that was pretty big. You're always doing like 85% minimum to Latios, and you're just hitting harder in general. But Sassy, just to boost that Spadef. You can use this on a Sand team, and it also, of course, gets an even bigger Spadef boost. Now, a few other options. You can run Assault Vest. I haven't really found a spread that I like, but if you like running Assault Vest and with max HP, max Spadef, you take Focus Blast from Magearna. I haven't really found, like I said, a spread I like, and you probably shouldn't be trying to take fighting type attacks anyway, even if you are Assault Vest, but you can take it to easily take Pokemon like Tapu Koko's Thunderbolt better, Latios, Naganadel, Blacephalon. So an Assault Vest is definitely an option. If you do find a spread that you like, let me know down below in the comment sections. I'm always willing to learn as well. And you know, that's the point of this video, not only for you to learn or maybe know how to utilize it, but you guys giving me feedback on what you've used, and I take that into account when I play. Magico is an option for like an anti-Trick Room lead, for example, like sort of similar to Uxie. You could run like Magicoat, Stealth Rock, Trick Room, Gyro Ball, and Uxie runs Magicoat, Stealth Rock, Memento, and then either U-Turn or Psychic or anything like that, knockoff are all options, so that can work. Even a Trick Room set with Stealth Rock can work as well, but if I'm using this thing for Trick Room, I don't want to use it as a Trick Room mon to support other Pokemon. I want to use it as its own Trick Room offensive set. Like, you don't even have to be on a Trick Room team. Offensive Trick Room can just be used on any type of balance or offense as your way of dealing with opposing Trick Room, because speedier teams actually suffer with Trick Room, because once Trick Room is up, the thing that speedier offensive teams have is their high speed and high attack power, right? But when they're slower than everything, because of Trick Room, makes it harder. So you can use something like that. Magnetize is also an option to avoid Earthquake from Landers and whatnot. I'm not really sure what you would put over, which is why it is another option rather than a main set. But those are all options. But yeah, this Pokemon can function on Trick Room teams, it can function on offense, it can function on balance as its own offensive Trick Room setter, and I even use it on like just balance as a choice band user itself. It's just really fun. You send it out and you click Gyro Ball. I compare it to Mega Metacham because Gyro Ball is a nuke, and unlike Mega Metacham, you don't have to miss, because High Jump Kick misses, but Gyro Ball doesn't. But hopefully you guys learned something and are excited. I love this Pokemon. It's probably one of my new favorite Ultra Beasts to use right now. Stakataka, I love its name. And if you learned something, that's awesome. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe. You can check out my friend t-shirt as well. That's available for about 11 more days. Link is down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, friends.